G'day, I'm Matt Vella from capscomputers.com. Today I'm here with Anthony Montgomery. How are you going today, mate?
Good, I'm great. How are you?
I'm splendid. How are you enjoying Australia so far?
Loving it, loving it. I love Australia. I've been here, I came in 2004, and this is my first time back. It's a great time.
I heard you earlier today at the panel, you were talking about you saw the football last night. Enjoy it?
Oh, no, it was a blast. Watching the match? Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So we'll start off with Star Trek because that's kind of what you're most known for. How's that affected your career and just and influenced your life?
My life completely changed. I just went for an audition, and all of a sudden, I've got a fan base around the world that will follow me till the ends of time. So I've been very, very blessed to become a part of such a storied franchise.
And you've gone into other sci-fi ventures after Star Trek, but were you much into sci-fi before that? Like, were you always a sci-fi geek?
I was a sci-fi fan before doing Enterprise. Yeah, for sure. I was a sci-fi fan long before getting on Enterprise. I'm a fan of the genre itself.
That's really cool. It's I find it fascinating how, like, after all these years, like it's been all this time, but the Star Trek franchise has managed to continue, and it's reached multiple audiences, especially with the new J.J. Abrams films. How do you feel that compares to some of the sort of the older stuff that you were involved in?
J.J. took a different take on it. I think what J.J. Abrams did was, I think he did a great job with it, and it's exactly what we all know about Star Trek and what we've all grown to know and love about it, but it's a reimagining. So I think it's wonderful to help reinvigorate the franchise itself.
Yeah. And this is part of your tour for promoting Miles Away, your new series.
Yes.
Now, it's a little bit different to Star Trek, but you think it will
different than Star Trek, yes.
But you think it still appeal to the sci-fi fans? So tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, for sure. Miles Away is about a 16-year-old named Maxwell Miles who develops a superhuman ability. He's got a clouded past. He battles this woman, Madam Iniquity, and her evil minions. Dimwit and Intellect on future Earth. It takes place in 2089 because I wanted it to be in the future, but I wanted it to also be relatable to us as well. He also allies with 2 alien refugees and falls into an interstellar war as he explores his family's dark past.
You mentioned earlier about you hope to see it go on to other ventures such as like animation and live action films. Do you have anything like locked in yet or anything like that?
Well, I do. It's going to be a transmedia franchise starting with the graphic novel. It will then span to animation, and then 3 to 4 years after the animation launches, we will do the very first live action feature films. And I'm in talks with a company to turn it into an online animated series as opposed to just being a live broadcast network. So, and it seems like everything is going, all the new media is online anyway. That could be the place for it to go. And for me, ultimately, as an actor, it doesn't really matter to me where the animation goes as long as it gets out there for the fans to consume.
It seems to be like you put a lot of heart and soul and effort into this project. How long has it been in the works for?
Since 2001. I created it in 2001 while our series was still on the air.
Crazy. So this is the first issue, it would be?
This is the very first one. This is the introductory for Miles Away, and it is, it's one of those that, as everybody thinks about what was the first thing that Gene Roddenberry did for Star Trek, what was the first thing that George Lucas did for Star Wars, this is the very first thing that anybody will be able to find for Miles Away. And it's not an origins book, it's just the genesis and the foundation of the franchise that I've created.
So you're going straight into the action type stuff?
Oh yeah, well, we get into it because for the animated series I'm targeting 9 to 12-year-old boys, even though it's not strictly for boys. When I went into Disney and I went into Cartoon Network, they are looking at targeting that specific demographic. So my writing partner and I, Brandon Easton, who was one of the writers for the new Warner Brothers Thundercats series, he and I then carved this, Miles Away, so that it would appeal specifically to that demographic. But when I say appeals to them, we are not pandering to kids. I don't talk down to them because kids are a lot smarter at how they consume their entertainment media. It is something that they will elevate themselves to, as opposed to us dumbing down. There's no potty humor. It's not that kind of franchise. It's something that is going to be intellectually stimulating, quite honestly, for all the people out there. And it's going to, each of the animated series episodes is going to have a moral compass that drives it, but it's not going to be overtly stated.
That being said, like with a lot of these type of things, like it might say aimed it at kids, but it's not really necessary. It's going to be, not going to be restricted to that demographic.
No.
Like Star Wars is considered to be like a very childish thing and stuff. However, it's people of all ages. They love the franchise.
It's family entertainment, and that's exactly what this is. And the way when I hear people know that it's a graphic novel, but it's not a graphic novel in that there's excessive violence. There's, we're not cutting people's heads off and doing anything like that in there, and there's no profanity, there's no nudity, nothing explicit about it. It's more of an illustrated novel. It's more like what Harry Potter would be if it was turned into a graphic novel form.
So, do you want to give us a quick a flick through here? Just want to come a bit closer here. So it's very colorful.
It's 96 pages of full color story, and it's a tale of two halves.
So it's very detailed.
Yes, I took time, energy, effort, and a lot of patience into it. After the story, I do a DVDs extras type of section in which I actually show the history of the book. I do some concept art. I put the original characters that I actually created in 2001 in the back of the book, so that people will have a reference when they're seeing these characters and wondering who they are and what they do. I actually put their stories in the back of the book.
Yeah, it seems like might be a bit early to say this, but I guess you could call that some good fan service to them. It gives you a little bit extra, more than just the simple story by itself.
And as a fan, I was keeping that in mind, so I wanted to make sure that I was giving the fans what I know I would like to see, because I used to collect comics, I used to collect graphic novels, and I know I'm a genre geek, if you will, and so I know what it is and have a great idea of what it is that the fans out there are going to like. So I wanted to make sure I was appealing to their sense and sensibilities.
Yeah. I think that's a really smart thing you've done there, going through that. So it looks like miles away. It's got a bright future ahead for it. I guess you could say it's kind of like a dream come true after all this hard work. And
well, you can say that, but it's more of a hard work realized.
I should have said it must feel very rewarding. Sorry.
Yes, it's definitely rewarding to finally have my book in my hands after